Veganism is only like a step above meat eating and dairy eating when it comes to human health, not when it comes to the planet. Veganism is wonderful for the animals, absolutely wonderful, and I fully endorse. It's wonderful for the planet, it's wonderful for the animals, it's going to take off a lot of stress from the Mother Earth as she begins to heal herself and level herself up to fourth density. So, from that perspective, veganism is wonderful and it is one of the most essential ingredients in the ascension process. It's a very essential ingredient. So, I have to put that out there. When it comes to human health, though, when it comes to the health of the body, of the human body, let's fix this focus. Yeah, when it comes to the health of the body, it is a step above, but not by much. Not by much. A step above eating meats, a step above putting some things that are pure, essentially rotting in your system, and they take 3 days to pass through. It's a step above. Okay, no question about it. You go watch the documentary The Game Changers. It explains it pretty well. It measures different athletes who switch to veganism. It measures their testosterone levels, many things. You know, it's pretty obvious when it comes to your health. This is definitely a step above, but not by much. But when it comes to the overall health of the planet and the animals, it is a huge step. Now, let's talk about human health. I want to focus here on the human health. What happens when you eat beans? What happens when you eat chickpeas? Last week, 10 days ago or so, I ate this, I went to this vegan restaurant and I ate this kofta, but it's vegan kofta. So kofta, for you guys who don't know, it's a Middle Eastern dish, usually prepared with beef. And so I went to this vegan restaurant and they made these koftas, but they don't make them with beef, they make them with chickpeas and some other spices and salts, etc. So I ate it and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool that it tastes exactly like the kofta I ate growing up. I was like, it's pretty cool, man. That's great. It tastes good and everything. I'm like, wow, these vegans, man, they could take anything. At this point, eating meat and dairy products. Have you ever tried cashew cheese? It's even tastier than the original cheese from cow cheese and stuff. It's delicious, delicious, absolutely delicious. So these vegans, I gotta give it to them. Flavor wise, taste wise, they're able to recreate anything. So it's actually unnecessary at this point to eat any animal products because it's there. It's available in a vegan form. And again, it's a step above when it comes to health than the meat and animal products. Dairy is very, very mucus forming. So I ate this kofta. And of course, I enjoyed the taste and it brought me back to childhood. And I was like, wow, props, respect, respect. Oh, man. Oh, I'll tell you, the next 24 hours, though. Oh, man. Oh, man. I had 4 or 5 hours after. I started to have mucus coming all from my nose. I was like chronically dehydrated, thirsty, and I was playing all kinds of symphonies here, man. All kinds of symphonies. All kind. I mean, I was playing the trumpet, I was playing the piano, I was playing the guitar. My asshole was in that night the best. I mean, forget Beethoven, man. Forget Beethoven. Forget Mozart. My asshole blows both of them that evening. So, this is far from optimal health. Okay, having your asshole overpower the talents of Mozart and Beethoven, as pleasant as that is from an artistic point of view, from the perspective of optimal health, we've got some problems here. Brought me back to the traumatizing experiences of eating hummus growing up. You know, beans too. My mom made fool. Okay, fool, which is in some Middle Eastern countries a staple. I know in Latin countries also, but like in Egypt, for example, fool, beans are a staple. And there's a joke between Arabs that, you know, the Egyptian farts are the deadliest, and Egyptians, you know, they're often proud of their farts. You know, Egyptians are they're the funniest Arabs, right? They're very, very funny people. So they're proud of it. You know, it's a reputation that they take very proudly. It's because of the beans they eat. You know, food, that's a staple. Everybody in Egypt, breakfast is beans. You know, so these plants that are, they don't belong in the body. They period. So because they don't belong in the body in the raw form, what we do to make them more edible is we have to cook them and prepare them in a certain way, whether it's applying fire to break down certain molecules, or perhaps sprouting, etc. The sprouting process can reduce some of the phytic acid, because all these things, they have phytic acid, defense mechanism. Those plants don't want to be eaten. What does that tell you? When a plant has a defense mechanism and a molecule that harms your body and other insects too, what does that tell you? That tells you that plant is saying, do not eat. It's like going to a woman, you know, back in my pickup days, right? You know, you go to a woman and she has her defenses up. What are you gonna do? She has her defenses up. It doesn't matter what you do to try and disarm her, as they would teach you in the pickup, right? At the end of the day, if she has her defenses up, she just broke up with somebody, and she's in this phase of her life where all men are assholes. She hates all men. Not the charmest of charms you put on, my friend, is going to do it for you. Okay? Those plants don't want to be eaten. For whatever reason, in nature, saying, no, not edible. Turn the other way, go somewhere else. But of course, us humans, because, you know, anyway, don't even get me started with humans. Okay? So, we thought, well, let's cook it. And the cooking, turns out, it does help. It'll break down some of the molecules, it'll get rid of certain things, but also, of course, it'll destroy a bunch of other things and enzymes and all kinds of things. So, of course, what happens when you cook these things or you prepare them in a certain way is, yes, you make it more edible. You're taking it from completely inedible and toxic and poisonous to less toxic, more edible. Just because we put the term more edible doesn't mean it's edible. It doesn't mean it's optimal. It just means it's more edible than its original absolutely non-edible state and absolutely toxic state. So it's less toxic, less poisonous, more edible. It doesn't make it optimal. It doesn't make it good. Unless, again, for artistic purposes, playing the trumpets and the piano and the guitar all in one whole, I mean, that's pretty impressive, you know? But they're not edible, man. It's not edible. So yeah, you cook it, you sprout it, you germinate it, blah 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 blah. All right. So but still, you're putting it in. It's causing issues. Clearly. The Egyptian fart has a notorious reputation for a reason. Those beans, the fool, the chickpeas, right? I couldn't sleep that night. I couldn't sleep. I was farting all night, and I was drinking water all night. I couldn't do my usual, like, intermittent dry fast. Impossible. I was too thirsty. Had to keep drinking water all night, and I couldn't sleep. I'd go, just too much distractions, no peace in the system. Right? So, from the standpoint of optimal health, most vegan foods do not belong in the body. In the human body. They don't belong there. No matter how much cooking you do, how much sprouting, how much this and that you do, you may take down the phytic acid content of nuts from 100% to 50%. But baby, that 50% is still gonna cause some issues there. I had a phase where all I ate was almonds and cashews. I was doing keto, right? Oh my god. All I was eating is almonds and cashews. That's all I was eating. You know, I was doing keto. I wanted to do keto and avocados, right? But mostly nuts. Oh my God, man! I mean, just thinking about that is bringing some PTSD feelings back into my body right now. Wow, wow. The heaviness, I mean, I was taking some, the shits that I was taking and not taking. You know, you gotta worry about the ones you're not taking. You know, man, it's crazy. So these, most vegan foods in truth do not belong in the body. Of course, yeah, eating a nut's better than eating a piece of meat. Of course, eating beans and chickpeas is better than eating, drinking milk, eating cheese. Yeah, it's better. But really, it's not even close to optimal health. So, from the standpoint of human health, veganism is the first step and is not the destination, like many vegans, God bless their soul, well-meaning. Almost every vegan out there is a well-meaning soul, even if they're caught in the whole drama and the whole duality and the whole us and them and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? They're all well-meaning souls, and I respect that. Uh, but I think a lot of them are under the influence, under the impression, not the influence, under the impression that veganism is the final destination, that somehow we have arrived. And as you learn on this journey of life, we are all a lot like Luke Skywalker in the first Star Wars movie. Very naive. We think we got to the top of the mountain only for it to turn out to be like like a warm-up, really, a warm-up. It's like playing a game, going to play a football or something, and stretching, and as soon as the stretching session is over, you're like, all right, boys, good job, everybody good, let's go, all right, let's go get a meal, grab a meal here, and let's hang out. And then your mates look at you and say, have you gone mad, mate? Have you gone mad? Because the game hasn't even started. You just warmed up, but you thought, for whatever reason, you thought that the warm-up was the game. So you warmed up with your mates, and it turns out, well, no, we're just warming up for the game. It's the same thing. Veganism is the warm-up. There are other levels of human health, which lead ultimately to breatharianism and immortality, physical immortality. So the next step, for those who are curious, because you might have just stumbled upon this channel, and honestly, I have no interest in convincing you of anything. I'm just saying it how it is. The next step would be to eat more fruits, primarily fruits, because they have there's no defense mechanism. No, so the tree offers the fruit, says, all right, here you go. It's like almost the fruit in a way wants to be eaten by you or by another primate or another fruit eating organism. It sits pretty well with the human body, right? Of course, the other liquids would be then to go into liquidarianism and then etc. But that's not for this video, right? We're just trying to go from one level to another here. If you just started playing Call of Duty, I'm not gonna expect you all of a sudden to go on kill streaks and be like first and have like 30 kills in one game. No, step by step. First of all, watch out for the campers. You gotta learn where the campers hide. You're gonna get your ass kicked a few times, and that's what happens. You go on veganism and you feel better, but then you start to get your ass kicked with you eat chickpeas and you eat beans, and then you have all these trumpets playing, all these different instruments playing, and then you're like, well, I'm getting my ass kicked here. And then you start to learn, okay, well, these foods actually do not really belong here. Even if we cook them, we only improve, but it still doesn't belong there. Even if we do this, we do that, doesn't really belong there. In the long run, it will run you down. It will run your system down. It will lead to your early death. If you're dying before 100 or even like 150, that's still early death. So then you start to level up the game, and then you start to eat fruits, and you realize, well, that they sit better with me, which they do. There's no defense mechanism on it. It's in its raw form. It's got the enzymes, it's got the electricity, the water, which is critical. The water element of the 4 elements. And then that's the next level. So you begin to eat that, and then simple vegetables again. Broccoli, eat broccoli. I mean, same thing. You start to play all kinds of instruments there. Broccoli and what else? Cruciferous vegetables. Oh man, I used to make a salad like broccoli and cauliflower and all these things, and man, again, like again, the Beatles and Mozart and Beethoven, and man, you know, it's groovy music, but god damn it, it doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good. So, you know, then the simple vegetables, like the leafy vegetables and the fruits, you start to eat those, and within a week, you're like, yeah, that clearly fits more with my physiology. Clearly. You know? And then, you know, as you go on more, you start to get annoyed from stuff, and then you wanna move on to liquids and then breatharianism. But again, that's not for this video, right? So, the moral of the story is veganism is wonderful. Veganism is great. It's great for the planet. It's great for the animals. Even people who were known to be the machoest of macho men, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, is switching into a vegan diet. And he was one of the producers of the Game Changers. You've got badasses like Jim, what was his name? The guy in the documentary, James something. Badass guy, martial artist. You don't want to fuck with him. And yeah, he's also a vegan. So we've got some badasses now, switching into the vegan diet. A lot of them for health, others are for the planet and for the animals. Great, wonderful. I support, I dig. Not that it matters. But nevertheless, I dig, I support. It's great, it's wonderful. The planet's happy for it. The mother Gaia is happy for it. Gaia is a soul. She's alive. She is happy about this. It takes a lot of strain off of her, so she can heal. But from the perspective of health, keep in mind it is only the first step. And true optimal health, which ultimately leads to physical immortality, is quite a steep mountain, my friends. It's like an Everest. So veganism is only the first camp. And you've got many more camps to go. So keep going, baby, and enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy the tastes. Enjoy your new substituted foods with the old ones. Enjoy the aromas. Enjoy the flavors. Enjoy the trumpets. Enjoy the piano. Enjoy all the sounds, all the sweet sounds coming off your asshole, Enjoy all of that. And when you're ready to move on, you'll know, and you'll move on whether you like it or not, because you'll just be like, man, I'm tired of this. I want to improve, That's about it. And thank you to all the Patreons for your support. If you get a couple of bucks a month to spare, you like this community, you believe in this community, you think this is not a bad community, and you would like to support, you've got a couple of bucks a month to spare, we've got a link in the description for Patreon. Also, one-time donations on PayPal are highly appreciated and acceptable and appreciated. Thank you, guys. Instagram, Saeed Mobayed, if you want to talk about anything. And until next time, may the force be with you.